Okay, guys, we are going to continue in the circle sections. We have circumference and area. So take your worksheet that you have downloaded that looks like this, and we're actually going to, let's make this notes, do some problems together. Okay, look at number 1. Find the radius of each circle, round to the nearest tenth. You need to have your calculator. Now remember, what they have given us is the circumference. So the distance around the circle is 37.7. The first thing you need to do is write the formula. So since we are trying to find the radius, let's use the formula with radius in it. So write C equals 2 pi r on your paper. All right, we're trying to find the radius. They have given us the circumference. So what you're going to do is just fill in your formula and solve for r. So the circumference is 37.7. And think about how you're going to solve for r. And it is actually, we did this back when we were doing literal equations. You're actually, that's 2 times pi times r. So if you divide by 2 pi, remember 2 divided by 2 is 1 and pi divided by pi is 1. So that gives you r by itself. Now here's the trick. You are typing this into your calculator. So take your calculator, type it in. Okay, if you did not get 60.0014 ... you did something wrong. Think about it. You are taking this, the numerator, which is 37.7, and you are dividing by the whole denominator. You can't just divide by 2 pi. What your calculator does is it divides by 2, gets an answer, and then multiplies by pi. In order to divide the whole numerator, let's see what color I can use, the whole numerator divided by the whole denominator, you've got to put the denominator in parentheses. So try it again in your calculator, type it in just like this, and see if you get 60.0014 ... Pause it. Okay, now that you have figured that out, we're rounding to the nearest tenth, so that 0 makes that 0 round to a 0. So your answer is the radius equals 60, what are we in, inches. And you just found the radius of this circle. Here was my circle, my original circle, and the radius is 60. The circumference is 37.7. I need you to pause it and try to do number 2. Pause it now. Okay, see if you got this. The radius is, we're rounding to the nearest tenth, so the radius is 8 feet. Just remember, you have a circle, and the measurement around the circle, all the way around, is 50.3 feet. And that means that you just found that this, I might have said that wrong, but the radius is 8. I might have said that wrong. The circumference around it. Okay, remember, if you have not put it in your calculator correctly, it will not work. And the trick is right here, if you don't put this in parentheses when you're punching it into your calculator, it will not divide the whole top by the whole bottom. So if you are not getting this answer, go ahead and rewind the video and listen to every word I said. All right, go to number 3. This time we're finding the diameter. So I would use the formula C equals, think about it, pi d. So they are giving me the 70.4. This is much easier actually than the first problem. It's because we're only finding the diameter. Because all you're going to do is divide by pi to get d by itself. The pi's will cancel out and you just got the diameter by itself, which is what you are solving for. Now type this into your calculator. Remember to use your pi button. And that gives you 22.409 ... We're rounding to the nearest tenth. So your diameter is 22.4 meters. Go ahead and pause it and you do number 4. Okay, check your answers. You round to the nearest tenth, so that 9 right there makes that 9 round up to a 10, which makes that round up to 22 feet. Your diameter is 22 feet. I hope you're doing this exactly the way I'm asking you to do this. You need to practice. Look at number 5. Find the area of each, round to the nearest 10. Okay, this is really hard. Think about it. If we're finding the area, write your area formula down. What's the area formula? A equals pi r squared. Well, for us to find the area, we need to know the radius. So think about how you would find the radius. They gave us a circumference. Could you find the radius? Yes. The first thing you would do is write the circumference formula. C equals the circumference, since we're trying to find the radius, is 2 pi r. They gave us a circumference of 44.6. Divide both sides by 2 pi, so that we can, 2 divided by 2 is 1, pi divided by pi is 1. Type in the radius. And I got 7.098 ... Since you are advanced honors, I am going to allow you to do it the way you would do it in geometry in a few years. Listen very carefully. Do this, leave this in your calculator. Is this on your screen? If this is not on your screen, go ahead and type in this again to get this on your screen. Okay, under your formula, remember this is still on your screen. You have pi times what is on your screen, which is 7.098 ... square. So what you need to do is take what is on your screen, which is right here, and go ahead and square it. So take what is on your screen and just push the X square button on your calculator that squares it times pi and see what happens. Classes are changing. You should get 158.2923 ... Now that we are at a final answer, you can round your answer to the nearest tenth. This rounds up to a 3. So my final answer is 158.3, and we're doing area feet square. That is very, very hard to do. Try number 6, pause it, and see if you get it. Okay, I'm going to work this out with you so you can watch the work that you did. You're finding the area, which is pi r squared. I need to find my r. So I'm going to take my circumference that they gave me. My circumference formula is 2 pi r. I'm going to plug in my 69.1 in order to find the r. All right, I got 10.9976 ... I am leaving this on my screen. Do not take it off your screen of your calculator. Now, you're going to take that radius, which is about 11, but you're not going to round it right now. You only round at the end of the problem. So I'm going to take my radius that is on my screen. Won't do that. That'd be 10.9976 dot, 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 and we're going to square it. So in your calculator, this is what you're doing. You're taking what is on your screen. You are immediately pushing the X square button. So on your calculator, it'll say ANS square because you took the answer, which is what was on your screen, and you squared it. And then you can just push pi, and that'll give you 379.967. So the area is 379. We're rounding to the nearest 10th. That makes that round up to a 10, which makes that round up to a 10, which makes that round up to 80. So it's 380. That's 380 inches square. Hopefully you got it right. If not, you need to rewind it and listen to number 5 and number 6 again. Let's go to something a little easier. Look at number 7. Okay, we're finding the radius of each circle, round to the nearest 10th. If I'm trying to find the radius and I'm given the area, what formula would I start with? The area formula. There is only one area formula. This time I'm finding the radius. They are giving me the area, so I'm going to put in 28.3 for the A, because that's the area they gave me. Now I've got to solve for R. Wow, this is going to be hard. We can do this. All right, how are you going to solve for R? That's pi times R. So you're going to divide both sides by pi. Divide both sides by pi. Pi divided by pi is 1. All right, here we go. Type into your calculator 28.3 divided by pi. And that gives me 9.00816 dot, dot, dot. Leave that on your calculator. We're not going to round it until we get to the very end. Now, this is the radius square, which means something times something gives me this number, 9.00816 dot, dot, dot. So how do you undo a square? You square root it. So whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. We've done this earlier in the year. R equals, in fact, earlier in the year, whenever we took the square root of both sides, we get a positive and a negative. Remember, plus or minus? But in this case, since we're talking about measurement, there's no reason to think about the negative answer because you can't have a negative radius. You can't measure a negative length. So you're only worried about the positive one. All right, so on your screen is still the numbers 9.0086. So over here, this is what is on your screen. All right, what you're going to do is put, oh, this is going to be so hard. Okay, above the X square button, here's the button. There is a little blue symbol that looks like this. Let's make it blue. Let's make it blue. Okay. All right, you're going to activate that blue symbol because you're trying to find the square root of it. So to activate it and it's in blue, you're going to take what's on your screen and do second button, which is the blue button, and then you type in that X square button, which is going to activate that little symbol, which is the square root button. Let's see, so I'm going to do second square root, and then I do second answer. Okay, ANS is down at the bottom of the screen above the negative symbol. Sorry, let's do it. It's a negative symbol. I did it again. Hold on. Okay, guys, I've made an executive decision. We're going to save this for when I see you in person and can go over it with you because this is a little too much to teach online. So if for some reason I cannot figure out that this video, if I can't figure out how to stop it back on after number 6, I'm glad you watched this part, but you weren't supposed to. You're supposed to stop after number 6. So, sorry. That just means you didn't read directions, but hopefully you didn't watch that. And if you did, you might have learned something. I will see you next time. Thanks.